Mr. Rogen, I appreciate your work, Hilarity for Charity, so my comments are dull and boring, but it's really an expression of gratitude. I appreciate your efforts to educate and to communicate with young people. That's something that I have no doubt that is missing. One of the things that I might suggest in that regard, in talking to young people, is we need to instill in American young men and women the desire to pursue careers, degrees, education in science, research, medicine. We need the next generation of the doctors that were in the preceding panel, and I just would encourage you, and maybe you have comments in that regard, but to do everything you can to instill in people the desire that this is a noble calling worthy of a career.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but actually I think one of the most distressing things, honestly, I learned today was talking to Dr. Hodis before the panel, just in the little waiting room area, and he was explaining to me something that he touched on here as he was talking, was how the funding for the research in this area is so sporadic and inconsistent that people, and I relate to it as just a young person who is pursuing a career, people are discouraged from entering this pursuit because it's not as financially stable as many of the other diseases that are having great strides taken in, conquering them. And I will do my best to encourage it, but again, I ask the government to create a situation financially where there's the means for the people with ideas to actually do something with them. I mean, what he told me, again, backstage was there's people that come to us with ideas that could literally be the thing that cures this disease, and what we have to tell them is there's a 1 in 6 chance of that getting funding. And they probably take from that, man, if I go focus on heart disease, I'll make more money and I'll also save lives, but it's a more glamorous situation financially. Alzheimer's just isn't a cool disease, unfortunately. And it's something that I think, that was honestly one of the most distressing things I heard today, was even people whose natural instinct would be to pursue curing this disease are discouraged from the financial landscape of this profession.
Well, while you earn a living as a comedian, you are a very effective lobbyist, turning my request.
I'll do it. You give the means, I'll give you the people.
I certainly noticed it, although you will find that it's this request, this plea for constant increasing of funding is one that we've made for a number of reasons. But included in those reasons is the understanding that people who are making decisions about what to do in their careers need to know, whether it's Alzheimer's or any other disease, that NIH funding is going to be there and there's an opportunity for them. The uncertainty that Congress and the administration can create in budgets and spending create a real challenge as we try to recruit young people to.
And I think that mentality trickles down to people my age and just honestly shows them that it's not that high a priority on a national level, and that's what we're trying to change.
Thank you very much. Now visit with my colleague, my former colleague from Kansas. Dennis, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you reminding me of I was at your father's funeral. I remember his condition and the reminder of heredity. I think my question to you is this. What is the state of knowledge? What is it that we know when you've been diagnosed with Alzheimer's? What is it that they can tell you to do to make the quality of your life better, to slow the process? In other words, what does my impression would be is you would be a typical patient who learns of a diagnosis, and you've pursued, I assume, all the opportunities to try to find things that make life better over the course of your remaining life. And what is it that's out there that people can tell you, our healthcare professionals and others, that can tell you what you can do? What does the Alzheimer's Association tell you to do to accomplish that in your life?
Basically to take the medication that they diagnosed for me and others, I think, and also to get some exercise, which I try to do on a daily basis. And my wife very much encourages me to do that. And I'm a smart husband, and I say, yes, dear.
Very good. Some things we won't forget.
Right.
It's a good thing. Well, Dennis, again, I appreciate you, your public service.
Thank you.
The chairman had a long list of things that you've done in our state, and I wish you and Stephanie absolutely all the very best. And it's very pleasing to me to see you here, not on your behalf, but on behalf of all the people who sit in this audience and the thousands of Americans and people around the world who have encountered the same circumstance that you encounter. And the way that you're living your life, I believe, gives others courage and hope. And I commend you and Stephanie for that tremendous addition to your life, another role to play, and you're playing it very well.
I thank you very, very much for those comments, and I also thank you for conducting this hearing and learning more about this and what we as a nation can do to better deal with this situation of Alzheimer's, because millions and millions of Americans, as you well know, are being affected by this. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.